Hey, what is up, pure mathematics people? Guys, we going to continue with finding the turning points of a cubic function. Okay, so the first function that we are going to look at is g of x is equal to 2x squared plus x squared minus 7x and minus 6. Okay, and we already know that the graph is gonna be like this, right? All right, this is when the coefficient of x cubed is positive. So when a is positive, right, the graph is going to be like this. And then when a is less than 0, then your graph is going to be like this, right? That's when your a is negative. So basically we're just focusing on the coefficient of x cubed, because remember, this is of the form ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d. So this is the standard form that we're looking at, right? So now let's find the turning points. Well, what are the values that are going to be there by the turning points? Because remember, a cubic function has got two turning points, which is why when we're solving for the x values, we normally find two of them, right? So, and you guys still remember, I hope, right, that we need to find the gradient, right, of the tangent. So the gradient of the tangent, that is our first derivative. So the first derivative of that's going to be 3 times 26x squared plus 2x minus 7. All right, that is the gradient of the tangent. But you guys know that a tangent can only be horizontal at the turning point, right? A tangent can only be horizontal at the turning point. All right, in other words, there's no any other line that can touch the function once other than the line that is horizontal. And any horizontal line has got m is equal to 0. M is equal to 0, right? All the other tangents, for instance, tangents that are here, right? Tangents that's there, right? These tangents, they do exist, but their gradients are just not, they're not 0. The gradients are either positive or negative. In other words, there's a slope there. Okay, it's either the tangent is upward sloping or the tangent is downward sloping. All right, depending on the location of the tangent. So now we've got the gradient of the tangent, which is given by the first derivative. All right. So, but now the big question is, what do we know about the gradient of the tangent? Remember, this says m is equal to 0. M is equal to 0, meaning that the gradient of the tangent must be equal to 0. In other words, the expression that we have for the gradient must be equal to 0. So we're going to say, okay, fine. If this is the case, then that means 6x squared, that entire expression there, plus 2x, right, minus 7 must be equal to 0. And to find our x values, we're simply going to use the quadratic formula minus b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So, and that means we've got what? Our b is basically 2, so we're just going to have minus 2 plus minus square root of 2 squared minus 4, 6, and then minus 7 all over 2 times 6. Right, we punch everything into the calculator and figure out what the values are going to be. So minus 2 plus 4 plus 4 times 6 times 7, 2 times 6, right? And then you can see that we've got 0.93, and the other value is what? Negative. We've got all minus 1.26. okay, so we've got two values here, because remember a cubic function has got two turning points, so that's why I've got two x values. So we're going to take the values here and substitute them into g of x, not g prime of x, because these values are going to make g prime of x to be 0, right? These are the roots of what? G prime of x, but these are the x values of the turning point of g of x, right? Yes. So that's the relationship that these have with g prime of x and g of x. To g prime of x, these are the roots. They make g prime of x to be 0. But to g of x, these are the turning points, the x values of the turning points. So what we are going to do now, okay, now that we've got the values whereby g prime of x is 0, let's then plug them into g of x so that we find the corresponding y values. So g of x is given by this 2x cubed plus x squared minus 7x minus 6. So but g of 0.93, that's going to be 2 into 0.93 cubed plus 0.93 squared minus 7, 0.93, and then minus 6. So let's punch that into the calculator and see what we're getting. So 0.93, there we go. So we're ready to substitute it. So 2 times 0.93 cubed plus 0.93 squared minus 7. Yeah, what am I doing? Minus 7 times 0.93 minus 6. So the answer is minus 10.04. And then we do the same thing with the other root, which is minus 1.26, right? 2 minus 1.26 cubed plus minus 1.26 squared minus 7 minus 1.26 minus 6. Okay, so we plug that into our calculator. So I'm just gonna say minus 1.26, right? So I have it there as an answer, so 2 ounce cubed, and then plus ounce squared minus 7 times the ounce minus 6. There you go. We've got 0.41, right? 0.41. So we know that, okay, now the turning point 0.92 corresponds with what? Minus 10.04. All right, and then the turning point minus 1.26 corresponds with what? 0.41. Okay, so we've got the turning points now. Right, so let's look at another problem. So this time around we're going to look at the different function. So let's look at this one. Let's say it's q of x, which is equal to minus 2x cubed plus 3x squared plus 8x plus 3. And you know, because the coefficient of x cubed is negative, we are definitely going to have something like this, right? Something like this, right? The last branch is gonna be facing down, right? Yes. So this is what we have. So now our task is to find the turning points. Okay, turning points. So we're going to use the fact that q prime of x is equal to 0 at the turning points. Okay, then when this is equal to, when we set this equal to 0, the roots that we're going to get, right, the roots that we're going to get are going to basically be our, what we call our x coordinates of the turning points, the x coordinates. So now let's get right into q prime of x. Q prime of x, so minus 2 times the 3, then the 3 minus 1, that becomes minus 6 x squared. And then 3 times 2 here, 3 times 2, that's plus 6 x, and then the 2 minus 1, that gives us 1, and then 8x just becomes 8, and then the 3 falls off. That's just a constant, the derivative is 0. So now look, we are almost done with this. So we're just going to what do? Do we divide throughout by the common factor, which is 2, or what? To use the quadratic formula? I'd say let's just go right ahead and use the quadratic formula, minus b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac, because I mean, whether we divide throughout by the common factor or not, the fact remains we are going to get same answers. So let's substitute. All right, so minus 6 plus minus the square root of 6 squared minus 4 minus 6, and then 8 divided by 2 times the minus 6. All right, most learners, they kind of like skip this step, and they only like input it on their calculators, which is a problem because this is actually worth marks, right? So we need to see that not just on your calculator but on your script, because if it's on your calculator, like we can't, you know, we can't give you marks, you know, based on things that you computed on your calculator, right? So we want to see everything on the script. So minus 6 plus the square root of 36 plus 4 times 6 times 8 divided by minus 12. We're getting decimals again. So minus 0.76, or let's put a negative over there. Let's put a negative and see what we're getting. So negative this time around. .76. Okay, so those are the roots that we're getting, and we're gonna do the exact same thing. We substitute these roots into q of x, which is the original function. So q of x, we know that it's given by minus 2x cubed plus 3x squared plus 8x plus 3. So let's check what is q. What is q of what? The first root, minus 0.76. All right, minus 2 into minus 0.76 cubed, 3 minus 0.76 squared, plus 8 minus 0.76 plus 3. And then q of 1.76, all right, that's minus 2 1.76 cubed, right, plus 3 1.76 squared plus 8 into 1.76 plus 3. Okay, punch everything into your calculator and see what we're getting. So minus 0.76, there we go. Right, and then let's substitute it now. Let's substitute it. So minus 2 into ounce, right, cubed plus 3 ounce squared plus 8 ounce plus 3. That's minus 0.47. They say it's not 47, it's 47. You guys are perfectionists. Right. But anyway, let's substitute the other one. So this time around, our our answer is 1.76. Right. So minus 2 ounce cubed plus 3 ounce squared, right, ounce squared, and plus 8 ounce, right, plus 3. Let's see what we're getting. 15.47. 15.47, not 47. 15.47. There we go. So we know the first turning point is going to be minus 0.76 is to minus 0.47. And then the second one is going to be 1.76 is to 15.447. Right? And yeah, I think you guys have had enough with these questions finding the turning point. So I'm gonna leave it here, and I believe next time we're gonna start finding the x-intercepts. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and please leave a like. Also try to share with people that might be interested. So shout out.